David, are the most important figures in the Bible, is rich in details and lessons. He is known as the man after God's own heart, a fearless warrior and, at the same time, a sensitive poet who wrote many of the Psalms. His life is a profound example of faith, redemption, and humanity. Below is a deeper exploration of his journey. 1. David's origins and God's calling. David was born in Bethlehem, the youngest of 8 sons of Jesse. While his older brothers were warriors, David, still young, worked as a shepherd. From an early age, David showed leadership qualities and courage. He defended his flock from wild animals like lions and bears, skills that would later prove crucial in his life. David's selection as king was unexpected. When the prophet Samuel was sent by God to anoint the next king of Israel, he thought one of David's older brothers, who appeared strong and warlike, would be chosen. However, God told Samuel that he does not look at outward appearances, but at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7. Despite being young and overlooked by his family, David was secretly anointed by Samuel to be the future king of Israel. 2. The battle with Goliath. One of the most well-known moments in David's life is his battle with Goliath. The Philistines, enemies of Israel, challenged the Israelite army through the giant Goliath, a warrior who instilled fear and terror in everyone. No one dared to face him until David, still a young shepherd, arrived at the battlefield to bring provisions to his brothers. Outraged by Goliath's blasphemy against the God of Israel, David volunteered to fight the giant. Armed only with a sling and 5 stones, he struck Goliath in the forehead with a single stone, bringing him down. This heroic act was not the result of physical strength, but of unshakable faith in God. David declared, "The Lord who delivered me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will deliver me from the hand of this Philistine." 1 Samuel 17:37. Lesson. This event is a powerful metaphor for how faith can overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. David did not rely on weapons, but on God's power. 3. David's rise to power and friendship with Jonathan. After the victory over Goliath, David quickly became a prominent figure in Israel. He was celebrated with praise, and his military victories only increased his popularity. However, King Saul, who initially admired David, soon felt threatened by him. Saul began to see him as a rival for the throne and tried to kill him several times. During this turbulent time, David formed a deep friendship with Jonathan, Saul's son. This friendship is a classic example of loyalty and brotherly love. Even knowing that David would be the next king, Jonathan remained faithful to him, protecting him from his father's traps. Lesson. The friendship between David and Jonathan is a model of loyalty, even in times of adversity. 4. Exile and trials. For many years, David lived as a fugitive, escaping Saul's attempts to kill him. During this time, he showed great self-control and humility. On 2 occasions, David had the opportunity to kill Saul, but he refused, arguing that he would not raise his hand against the Lord's anointed. 1 Samuel 24:6. This attitude revealed his reverence for God and his trust in divine timing. While in exile, David gathered followers and became the leader of a small army. He defended the cities of Israel from the Philistines and other enemies, even though he was not yet officially king. Lesson. David's life in exile shows that even in times of difficulty, he trusted in God's providence. His actions demonstrate patience and faith in waiting for God's right timing. 5. David's reign. After the death of Saul and Jonathan in battle against the Philistines, David finally assumed the throne. He was first crowned king of Judah and later king of all Israel. Under his rule, the kingdom of Israel prospered. David established Jerusalem as the capital of Israel and brought the Ark of the Covenant there. making it the spiritual and political center of the kingdom. David was a victorious king in battles, consolidating Israel's territory and establishing alliances. However, his reign was not without mistakes. 6. Sin and repentance. The darkest point of David's life was his sin with Bathsheba. After seeing her bathing, David, already married, desired her. She was the wife of Uriah, one of his most loyal soldiers. David committed adultery with Bathsheba, and when he discovered she was pregnant, he tried to cover up his sin. When that failed, he ordered Uriah to be placed on the front lines of battle, where he died. This act brought great disgrace to David. The prophet Nathan was sent by God to confront him, using a the gravity of his sin. When David realized what he had done, he repented deeply. In Psalm 51, we see David's sincere prayer asking God for forgiveness. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Psalm 51:10. Lesson: David's repentance teaches us about God's mercy and the importance of recognizing our mistakes, seeking forgiveness, and learning from our failures. 7. David's legacy. Despite his mistakes, David was a king after God's own heart. He left a lasting legacy, not only because of his military and political achievements but also because of his deep spirituality. He was the author of many songs, expressing his devotion to God, his repentance, and his unwavering trust in divine grace. David's greatest legacy, however, was the messianic promise. God promised that the Messiah would come from his lineage, and Jesus Christ, known as the Son of David, fulfilled that promise. David's story is a journey of faith, struggle, victory, failure, and redemption. It shows us that even great leaders are human and fallible, but God, in his mercy, uses those who turn to him.